Hey guys, welcome back to Here We Mow again. I'm Jeff, and this is Billy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have an important announcement to make. There's a fungus among us. That's right, there's a fungus. And I'm not talking about your crazy toes that you hide underneath your socks. We know what's going on in there. Ooh. No, there's a fungus in my lawn, and we need to treat it. So what are we gonna do about this? How are we gonna take care of it, and what products are we gonna use? That's what we're gonna talk about today. Come join us. Just like we talked in our last video on weeds, lawn fungus doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything wrong or that your lawn is unhealthy. Clearly there's something going on in there and there's a fungus, but it's not your fault. It's more a result of environmental factors. Lawn fungus typically presents itself when the conditions are right, and that usually will be when there's a lot of rain or a lot of heat or humidity. This summer in the Northeast, we've had the perfect combination. We've had a lot of rain, we've had periods of very, very hot weather with humidity, and then we've had cool temperatures, and then it's bounced back to warm and hot temperatures. We've kind of run the gamut, but that's presented an interesting environment for the lawn, and it's allowed the lawn fungus to present itself. So don't worry, fear not, we can definitely take care of this and treat it, and also prevent it from happening further. So here's a spot in the backyard where there's some brown patch coming in. And this is definitely not from underwatering, because we've received an awful lot of water and rain lately. But as you can see, there's definitely some dying out going on. And it's definitely some fungus. I'm gonna bring you around to the front too and show you another area. So hopefully you guys can see this. It's pretty sunny out right now, but in the front, I'm starting to see some gray leaf spot and also some red thread. Let's see if we can get a little closer. You can see exactly what I'm talking about here. And again, you know, the lawn has been getting an awful lot of rain lately, so it's definitely not going dormant. This is definitely some fungus. And I've seen this in years past as well in this area. There's another little spot here. So in terms of treating and preventing, there's a lot of products out there that are available. One of the most common products is available at any of the big box stores, and it's Scott's Disease X. Now, I've used this product before. It works well. It's a granular. The only qualm I have with that is that it's a little expensive. It's $20 for 5,000 square feet. Now, my lawn is about 18,000 square feet, so that would mean I need 4 bags, basically, and that would be $80. A much more economical approach, and you know I'm all about saving money and applying the right products for a lower cost. That's kind of what we do here. Would be to spray a chemical on. So I like to use this guy here, propiconazole, and this is the 30-ounce bottle. I typically go with the gallon size bottle, but for whatever reason I got the 30 ounce last time. Maybe they were out of the gallon. I usually get about 2 applications out of this. So depending on if you're trying to prevent or cure and what the actual fungus is, you want to read your label, but depending on what it actually is, and if you're trying to do a preventative or a curative rate, you want to apply between 1 and 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So today, in the areas that are showing signs of lawn fungus, I'm going to go a little heavier. I'm going to apply 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet, but on the rest of the lawn, I'm going to blanket spray 1 ounce per 1,000 square feet, and that'll be a good preventative. So in terms of the price, this 30-ounce bottle is about $50. So I mentioned that, you know, I'll get about 2 uses out of it, and that obviously makes the price for each application $25, which is certainly a lot cheaper than the $80 it would cost me to apply the Scott's Disease X. Now, if you got the 1 gallon jug of this, that would get me about 7 applications, and that brings the price down to about, I don't know, $16 an application. So that's relatively inexpensive, and it's much more economical. The other thing I did want to mention is that you don't always want to use the same product. So like I said, this one here is the propiconazole. I like this product, it works well, but I don't use this all the time. I'll switch off between propiconazole and azoxystrobin. And the reason why you want to alternate in your chemicals is because your lawn will start to get used to it, and it will start to build resistance to it. So every other time you want to apply a different product. Think of it this way: if you go to the doctor and you're sick, right? For one thing, they don't like to give you a lot of medicine, they don't like to give you a lot of painkillers, but when they do, they're very careful about giving you the same antibiotic or the same painkiller over and over, because your body, just like the grass, will start to build a resistance to it. If you get an antibiotic and you get the exact same kind every time, your body's going to say, you know what, I know how to deal with this. I can start blocking this, basically. And your grass is very much the same. If it gets the same chemical over and over and over again, this chemical will start to lose its effect, and the grass will start to grow resistance to it. So to counteract that, we just switch it up. We just apply different chemicals. We don't apply the same chemical each time. So I'll leave a link down below, excuse me, to this product. I'll also leave a link for the other product that I like to use. They're good products. They work very much the same, and they're a lot less expensive. So let's go ahead and get this applied. To apply this chemical, I like to use my Chapin sprayer. It tends to be very accurate and sprays a nice even coverage over the lawn. One thing you do want to keep in mind is that you do want to set your level relatively low on this, and the reason why is because you want to make sure that you're applying the right amount. So I did mention that for the curative rate, I'm going to apply 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet, and for everything else, I'm going to apply just one ounce per 1,000 square feet. Now, it's kind of hard to judge that when you're just spraying out. The important thing, rather than worry about the setting, the important thing is to apply the right amount of product. So in my jug here, you'll see that I have about 14 or 15 ounces left, and that's just about enough to cover my lawn. You know, I mentioned my lawn is 18,000 square feet. There's a couple areas that don't necessarily need it, like this area here. So I may just skip this area altogether, and that will save me a little bit of product. But I guess what I'm saying is the important thing is that you want to measure this out ahead of time and know how much product you're going to need to apply over your whole lawn, and then judge that as you move along. So I like to set my dial low so that I don't run out of product too early, and then you want to make sure that you get all of that down, rather than worry about the setting on the correct setting on the sprayer, you know, setting it exactly precise. Worry more about how much product am I actually putting down, and just keep that setting low on your sprayer and judge it by how much product is actually left. So hopefully that made sense, and that I explained that in a way that is easy for you guys to understand. So remember to give this a good shake, especially if it's been sitting for a while, because the chemicals can settle a little bit, and you want to make sure they're mixed up. And then go ahead and get it into your sprayer. Generally, I use a funnel to pour this in. I didn't bring a funnel out with me right now, so I'm just going to pour it slowly and make sure it all gets in there. And so far, we're doing okay. Oh, I should mention that these bottles generally come with 2 caps, and if you take the other cap off, it kind of helps to pour it a little bit. Comes out a little faster. It is, of course, if you have popped the foil. So we have the rest of this product in the Chapin sprayer, and again, the goal here is to make sure that I apply all of this product on my whole lawn. Again, I can skip a couple areas, such as this area here where the pool was that has the tall fescue that is not showing any sign of any type of disease, if I want, but I probably will give it a quick spray anyways, just as a preventative. But again, you want to adjust your spray dial down so that you make sure that you get your whole lawn. So I'm going to get the hose connected, and we'll start giving this a spray. You want to try to spray this at a fairly quick pace, because it does come out fast depending on what your dial's set at. And again, the goal here is to apply whatever's in this bottle to the entire lawn, front and back. And please, please, please make sure you stay away from your garden. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want to be eating anything with propiconazole in it. That just doesn't taste very good. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, not the eye. Not the eye. Well, we're done with the back and the front yard. We have just a little left for the side yard, which is just a little sliver. And that's the area that we're having problems with. So we're going to go a little heavier there. So I just finished spraying. And as you can see, there's still a little left. So what that says is I maybe went a little too light and maybe a little too fast. So you just want to judge this as you go along. Check the amount left in your bottle. So I'm going to go over the areas that are having some fungus problems. I'll hit that again. Last thing we want to do is go ahead and give this a good rinse out. Make sure we get all these chemicals out of here. So the nice thing about this sprayer is that you can take the top off while it's still connected to the hose. Go ahead and rinse it out. If you want to use the tank sprayer cleaner in this, you can. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Well, we have our sprayer put away and all cleaned out, so it's going to be ready for the next time we go to use it. And I do now have an empty bottle, so I got to place an order for another bottle of the propiconazole. But like I said, you do want to alternate from time to time. So the next application I make, which will be in 30 days, that will be for the azoxystrobin, because you don't want the grass to build up any type of resistance to these antifungals. Otherwise, you'll be just throwing your money down the drain. So speaking of money, I do want to just touch on what I said earlier again about the different products available. There are a lot of different antifungal products available. It just really matters what you want to apply. This that I applied today cost me about $25 for the application. It would have cost even less if I had the gallon jug, would have been about $16, $17. If I applied the Disease X, that would have been about $80. You know, the advantage there is that Disease X is very easy to get at Home Depot or Lowe's. This stuff you do have to get from a specialty supplier. I will put product links down below. I highly recommend it. It works really well. It's easy to apply. You don't need to be afraid of it. I know some people kind of get freaked out when they're thinking about buying chemicals. Just remember to use your head. After you apply, go ahead and take everything off, take a shower, and don't let your pets on the lawn for at least a few hours until it dries. With that, I do want to mention as well that you want to make sure that you don't mow the lawn for a day or two prior to applying, as well as a day or two after applying. And the reason why is you really want this chemical to get into the leaf of the grass blade. And if you go out and mow it right away, you're basically not allowing it to get into the leaf, and you're snipping the top off. So just give it a couple days, or at least a good 24 hours before you mow again. My grass is due for a mowing right now, but I'm going to hold out an extra day so that it gives time for this to get into the leaf blade. One final point I wanted to make before we wrap up is that just make sure that you read your label. You definitely want to know what you're applying and what the correct application rates are. The application rates that I spoke about are specific to my lawn in my climate with the problems that I'm having. So I have a cool season lawn that's primarily turf type tall fescue. There's bluegrass in there, and there's also some sissy ryegrass in there, as some people like to call it. The problems that I'm having require only 1 to 2 ounces per 1,000 square foot of application. And again, so depending on what the problem you're having, there are some problems like brown patch that require a higher dose if it's really bad. Luckily, I'm just seeing a little brown patch, so I went with a lower dose. But the moral of the story is read your label, make sure you know what you're applying before you go out there and apply. The worst thing you can do is go ahead and apply the wrong amount and regret it later. So you just want to get it right the first time and make sure you take safety seriously. What's with the planes? Hey buddy, I'm trying to film a little grass video here. Do you mind? Come on now. Well guys, I think we're done for today. I want to thank you for coming back for another episode. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and throw a comment down below that you subscribed. It really does help the channel grow, and it helps us to continue to deliver content like this. And hopefully you found this useful. I try to present good solutions for common problems that people are having out there, and that will help you save some money in the meantime. That's kind of what we're all about here. We have some exciting projects coming up. We are going to do a fall renovation. We have to overseed in the back here. There's some thin areas that I've showed in the past, and we want to get that taken care of and put some good quality grass seed down. So stay tuned. We have more fun to come. So with that, I'm Jeff for Here We Mow again. Thanks so much for coming back, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.